Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, I got a very special build in store for y'all today. Super rare, going to be called the ball hawk, but today with this build, we're going to be able to make it out of the small forward position. We get pro dribble moves as well as pro contact dunks, and with this build, we're also going to be able to get a 100 plus driving dunk, driving layup, interior defense, perimeter, steal, as well as a defensive rebound. Now, I'm telling y'all, this is going to be one of the better and well-rounded slasher builds, but I'm telling y'all, you're still going to be able to get the ball hawk build name. So man, I just want to say thank you to everybody who did decide to click on today's video. As y'all can see from the gameplay, this build is definitely going to be able to do everything: shoot, ISO, play defense, and more importantly, we're going to be able to distribute the ball as well. So if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications if you want to be a part of the rich family. And I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button. Now go ahead and comment down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will hit y'all back with a response. Now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of this build. We're going to make it under the small forward position like I said earlier. Now with every single area, when it comes down to this build, you need to be specific in order to maintain that build name. So let's go with the height of 6'8". We're only going to raise that 1 inch. Then when it comes down to the weight, I decided to go with 197. I feel like this is going to be a perfect threshold to work with. And then when it comes down to the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7'6". Now I always do tend to go with the biggest body shape just to help out on the defensive end. And I think it really does take up the most space, so today I'm going to go with builds. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the actual attributes. And the first area that I'm going to focus on is going to be the physicals. So for the physicals, as you can see, I'm going to go with the speed of an 82, 80 acceleration, 74 strength, 75 vertical, and a 90 stamina. Now I always do like to start out with the physicals because I feel like this gives us the best idea of what the build is going to be shaped to do. But if you want to upgrade any other areas of this build when it comes down to the physicals, you can do so. But I'm telling y'all, at least you want to be sure to maintain that 75 vertical, so that way we're able to get contact dunks. Now from here, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the defensive end, and I'm telling y'all, this is probably going to be the best area of this build. So for the interior and perimeter defense, I'm going to go with 81 for both. Then when it comes down to the steal, 95, and that right there gives us gold glove. Now for the block, I'm going to go with 75, 59 offensive rebound with a 99 defensive rebound. And look, we get 27 badges, and out of tier 1, look at Hall of Fame box out beast as well as off ball pest, but then we also get gold badges, ankle braces, menace, and workhorse, and then we are still able to get silver post lockdown. Now when it comes down to tier 2, chase on artist glove and interceptor, I'm going to throw all these badges on. Then when it comes down to tier 3, if you do add extra badges towards this build and this area, we're going to be able to get Hall of Fame rebound chaser paired up with anchor, and I feel like this is a solid lineup to work with. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the finishing. So for the close shot, I'm going to go with the 67, 80 driving layup, 84 driving dunk, and a 77 standing dunk, and that right there gives us a total of 18 badges. Now for tier 1, we get Hall of Fame Giant Slayer and Pro Touch. It's pretty clutch that we also do get Rise Up. Now for tier 2, I like Silver Fearless Finisher. And then moving on to tier 3, look, if you do add on the extra badges towards this area of the finishing, we're going to be able to get Posterizer, Limitless Takeoff, as well as Bully. But for now, I'm at least happy that we're able to get all of the main badges that are going to be super important when it comes down to getting certain animations. So we get 16 badges out of the shooting. I'm going to go with the 74 mid-range, 75 3-pointer, 71 free throw, and that right there gives us a total of 16. Now for tier 1, I'm looking at Silver Amped, also get Gold Mini Magician. Then from there, I like Space Creator and Volume Shooter both on gold as well. Now for tier 2, I like Agent 3, Green Machine, and then for tier 3, Limitless Range is going to be the only badge that I'm really focused on. Now this is pretty much going to be it for the shooting, but if you want to make adjustments to get higher ratings, you definitely can do so, but you need to take away from other areas. Now from here, let's get started with the playmaking. Now for the pass accuracy, I'm going to go with the 71, 75 ball handle, and a 77 speed with ball. Now as you can see with the numbers, I'm telling you, I think we hit the perfect threshold in order to be able to dribble still. The speed with ball is still solid, the acceleration works hand in hand with the dribbling. But then when it comes down to the badges, we get gold ankle breaker, silver hyperdrive, and then that's pretty much for the badges that I'm looking at and focused on for tier 1. Now for tier 2, I like quick first step on silver. We also get bronze bailout, and then for tier 3, we get handles for days, clamp breaker, killer combos, and then unpluckable. Now I'm telling y'all, this is one of the better builds when it comes down to being 6'8", especially on the defensive end. Now remember, if you add all these badges together, we get 78 in total, but add on the extra 4 from my career and getting those 4 badges is going to put us up to 82. Now completing each season, the badge count is only going to grow, so I'm telling y'all, in my opinion, I think this is one of the best defensive builds that you can make, but even more so when it comes down to the rarity of the build name. Now let's go ahead and check out the takeovers, and this is going to make the build even better. So look, first we get the slashing takeover, and we all know how easy it is to get takeover this year, especially to rim run, so this is definitely going to be clutch. Now we also get lockdown, then from there we get the rim protecting, and then finally we get the glass cleaning. So out of all these takeovers, I honestly think that it's going to be best first to pick the slashing takeover. You can go with finishing moves or advanced gathers. I think finishing moves is going to be better for my kind of playstyle. And then when it comes down to the second takeover, I'm going to be real with y'all, paint intimidation, or you can go with see the future takeover. Both of these are solid, but it really comes down to your style of play and what you want to do. Now honestly, even if you wanted to go with one of the lockdown takeovers, I would have to say perimeter badge drop, or you can go with enhanced jump shot contest. Overall, I think all of these are going to be solid takeovers to pick from. You even have extreme clamps. Now I'm going to go with see the future takeover. I think this is going to be better if you're playing with teammates, but if you're playing in the 1v1 court, I would go with paint intimidation. Now let's go ahead and check out the build name to make sure that we made it correctly, and I'm telling y'all, for the small forwards, this is definitely one of my favorite builds that I've made. Now as you can see, we get Jimmy Butler and LeBron James comparisons, and together we have created the Catfish Ballhawk build. Now I'm telling y'all, out of all defensive builds, this has definitely been one of my favorites throughout the year. Let me know in the comments, what do y'all think about this build? Would you make any changes? And what different versions have you seen of it yourself? Now I might even have to make this as my third build. I already got my second one coming at y'all very soon. But from here, let's go ahead and take a quick look at what this build is going to be looking like maxed out with the badges. Now with your takeover, as well as buying your own boost, that's going to be a plus 15, plus 10 from your takeover, and plus 5 from buying your own boost. And if you run with a teammate that does have on Hall of Fame floor general, that's going to be another plus 4 towards your offense, so plus 19 in total. Now with all that taken into consideration, whether you pick the glass cleaning, slashing, lockdown, or rim protecting takeover, the potential of getting stats to 99 plus is going to be from the driving dunk, the driving layup, our interior defense, perimeter defense, of course our steal, as well as our defensive rebound. Now that's just to give y'all a small idea of what this build can actually do. From here, let's go ahead and check out the badges. Now for tier 1 on the finishing, I'm going to go with Hall of Fame Pro Touch as well as Bronze Rise Up. Now for tier 2, I like Bronze Fast Twitch as well as Silver Fearless Finisher. And then for tier 3, I'm going to use my badge points for Bronze Posterizer, and then for my core badge, I'm going to go with Silver Limitless Takeoff. Now for the finishing, I think this is absolutely one of the best setups that you can go with, but if you want to change it up, you definitely can do so to your own preference and liking. Now let's go ahead and get into the shooting. I'm going to go with Silver Amp, Bronze Slippery Off Ball, Gold Space Crater, and Volume Shooter. Then for tier 2, I like Agent 3, Silver Green Machine, and then Limitless Range as well. Now I'm going to use this as my core badge, but if you want to, you can change the badge setup to your own preference. Now when it comes down to adding boost to your shot, I would have to say these are going to be the most important badges that you should go with. Now overall, this is my setup in what I think is going to be best, but from here, let's go ahead and check out the playmaking. Now when it comes down to this area for tier 1, I'm going to go with Ankle Breaker on gold, also get Silver Hyperdrive, and then for tier 2, Bailout, and then Silver Quick First Step. Now for tier 3, I'm going to use my core badge for killer combos or handles for days. Either or, it does not matter, but these are going to be the 2 badges that I'm going to work with for playmaking. Now for tier 3, you can go with any of these badges to your own liking, but overall I think this is the best setup because you're able to still get quick first step. Hyperdrive and Ankle Breaker are going to be essential, and then we still do get handles for days, and then killer combos activates a lot of dribble animations that's going to allow you to combo your moves more smoothly. Now from here, let's go ahead and wrap it up with the defensive end. So for tier 1, I'm going with Hall of Fame box out beast, also brick wall and ankle braces, then also silver post lockdown so you're able to lock down on the inside. Now for tier 2, gold chase down artist, interceptor, and like I said, look, I'm going to make one adjustment right here. So if you want to, I'm going to take off brick wall, or you can even go ahead and take off ankle braces, just so that way you're able to put on gold glove. Now this is going to be the setup for tier 2, chase down artist on gold, glove, interceptor, and then when it comes down to tier 3, I like bronze anchor as well as Hall of Fame rebound chaser. Now for the defensive end, tier 2 is looking pretty nasty. The fact that we get all 3 of these badges put on, and if you wanted to, you could even go with Hall of Fame pogo stick. Now, I'm not going to use it for this build, but I'm telling y'all, overall, I think this is going to be one of the very best defensive setups that I've seen this year. Now, again, let me know in the comments, would you change any of the badges, any of the preferences when it comes down to the attributes and takeovers? I'm really trying to go ahead and see what y'all think about these builds that I bring to y'all, because I really put in a lot of time and effort to make sure that I bring them to you a certain way. So again, if you supported today, thank you so much, and I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. But without that being said, man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, and turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. And I would appreciate it if everybody went ahead and smashed that like button and commented down TG for thank God, as well as where you're tuning in from watching today. And with all that being said, man, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.